Okay, so I'm back at the crib, settled in, ready to do this and dive in to what the hell is going on with Russell Brand and those claims. And it's really, really sad that we keep seeing this over and over and over again. And I think that is an even greater issue that's not being addressed. Why does this keep happening? I know it was crazy back in the day, and it seems like a lot of this stuff, happened way back when, and then it's getting brought up because of one thing or another. And a lot of questions I've been seeing is also like, why now? And but it seems like this is something that has been coming or been trying to happen or break the surface for 3 to 4 years, and it's just now happening. And then I've seen like little videos of Russell being inappropriate in his past, and now different things are coming out with this actress said this, and Russell Brand also apparently bragged about kissing Meghan Markle, and like there's like all this stuff happening, and it's so hard as like the consumer of all this information, as we sit here and look at all this stuff, like it can be a little bit overwhelming. You're like, what do I believe? What do I think? So I want to say maybe I go into situations like this with bias, because being a woman, being affected by different situations myself, like I do have a bias, and I can admit that, and I don't know, I think that that's okay to have a bias. So I do want to be fair and clear about that going into reading this, because I just I feel like I should do that. And so trigger warning, because I think that this article is going to have different claims and evidence and stuff like that. And by this point, it's Monday. You've probably already read it if you've been catching up and doing everything with this Russell Brand situation. And I'm sitting here now, I'm like, I've been trying to go through my timeline, and I am not seeing anything where Russell Brand has come out with any evidence, that I could say, hey, this is this, but this is what he's saying. Nope. So just want to make that clear as well, because I definitely think if someone's accusing you of heinous fucking shit like this, then you would want to have done something, especially if you've claimed in a video prior to the stuff coming out that you have evidence and witnesses. But the last thing I see is his video he posted 2 days ago, getting ahead of all of this, and it has 182k likes, 66.3 million views. Whew, goddamn. And 99.4k comments, but nothing else has he posted since then. So there's that. And I will just go and scroll through my timeline again to be sure. So I went on the Sunday Times, right? And I clicked on here, and it says exclusive, and it looks like this thing is like behind a paywall. And I'm just like, that's kind of irritating to me, because something of this nature, I feel like people just need to have access for it to know what the fuck is going on, because it's just like, what the hell? So I'm like, ugh. Or am I just looking at the wrong thing? Because I see The Guardian. So let's do The Guardian. So it's pretty much saying that Russell Brand is being accused of R-word, an essay, and emotional abuse for over a 7-year time period when he was at the height of fame. So when he was popping, let me see what the fuck, like, what movies has he even done? Like, I know I've seen him somewhere in something, probably, maybe not though. Get Him to the Greek, no. Forgetting Sarah Marshall, that's probably what I saw him in. You know, like when a movie's just on, like that, like just comes on TV and you sit like and watch it, but you never really see the full thing, and it's like in your memory floating somewhere. Yeah, that's probably the only thing, because none of this other stuff that he's been in have I seen. Penelope, I saw Penelope with Christina Ricci. What was he in Penelope? It's been ages since I've seen that movie. And apparently he's a comic, like he does stand-up. I don't know, like, anyway. So, nothing that I would have been on my radar ever. So, height of his fame, apparently he was so famous from all of that. 4 women have come through with alleged assaults between 2006 and 2013. So he admits he was promiscuous. So he admits he was doing a lot of stuff. He says that in his video, he was just out there doing this, that, and the other. Like, oh my God. Oh, wow. Like, I understand having fame and like people never saying no to you and this, that, and the other, but like, my goodness. So he's being alleged to have done controlling and abusive and predatory behavior. And this is in an investigation with the Times and Channel 4 dispatches. Brand strongly denies the allegations, and in a video posted online Friday said he had been very... This is also another question, and maybe it's because of legalities or whatever, but like, why should legalities in any of that matter if it's like the truth? If someone is saying something about you and you directly know it's a fucking lie and you have the evidence and the witnesses to prove that, fuck a legality, you know what I mean? So like, why is it like, if he knew this stuff was coming, right, because he came out and made this video, why not in that video give your evidence just off the jump? Like, if you know you haven't done, like, he knew something was coming. Maybe he didn't know who the people were, this, that, and the other, but he knew something was coming. And they're saying that this has been years in the making. He's even said himself in his video, he's had, you know, things happen to him, people calling, reaching out to people he knows. Like, shit has been happening in the background to him. People were saying in his comments, like, Russell Brand didn't K-word themselves, like, they're watching you, be careful. Like, people knew people were coming from him, or who, you know, the people up here who want to silence him or whatever. So why not come out in the video with said evidence or something? Like, you know what I mean? Like, am I just, I don't know. Maybe I'm ignorant to it all, but like, it's just, I've never seen someone like come out in a video like that. It was just very shocking. So he denies the allegations, but does say he was very, very promiscuous. But absolutely everything was consensual. So 2006, a woman claims Brand escorted her during a 3-month relationship in 2006 when she was 16. And he was 30. Whoa. Russell. Like, what? Was a BBC reporter, presenter, and host of Big Brother's Big Mouth. She told the Sunday Times they had met when Brand approached her in Lancaster Square after she had been shopping and proceeded to go through her shopping bags and critique her purchases. She said he then took out a dress and said, "You're going to wear this on our date this week." Okay. She claims she told her mother, who advised her to text Brand and tell him her age. Oh my God. But that he was undeterred, and on the date asked her to confirm that she was 16. The woman said that over the following weeks, Brand referred to her as the child, and she alleged that he was controlling and actually emotionally abusive. She said he sent a car to her secondary school to take her out for lessons and asked her to save his name as Carly in her phone to deceive her parents. Oh my gosh. He allegedly also gave her scripts on how to lie to her parents and advised her to hide the relationship from her friends, describing the experience as isolating. The woman and a family member described Brand's behavior to the Sunday Times as grooming. Wow. Wow. And it's like going year for year. Like that was 2006, it goes 2007, 2012, 2013, 2020, and then 2023. They are keeping a record of what the fuck was taking place in this. Oh my God. Then in 2007, he had a relationship with a Jordan Martin. And it was 6 months. She's saying that this happened in the Lowry Hotel in Manchester. And he became angry after finding out she had spoken to an ex-boyfriend and then ripped her phone case apart to pull the battery before touching her in an inappropriate way. She said she was not ready for this intrusion and did not find it pleasant. Martin made the allegations in a book published in 2014. She declined to be interviewed by the investigative reporter. She told the Sunday Times she stood by her account. Brand denies all of the allegations made by the Sunday Times, but he has never challenged the content of the book. This is horrible. Horrible. You need to release your evidence. Stat. Like, don't let this go into the weeks and whatever. But I know he has like probably a whole rack of lawyers around him telling him this, telling him that. Just put your evidence out there. Like, I mean, but I guess this is going to court and this, that, and the other. I saw somewhere that like tour cancellations are happening for him. This doesn't look good. I'm gonna just say that. Like, it does not look good. But a lot of people, even in my comments, are like pro Russell Brand, and it is a little confusing and like a little, I don't know that man. Like, I don't know, I don't know any of these people. But, like, you feel like you know some people when you, like, follow them and you watch their shit and everything like that. I mean, and so other people may follow his career and have followed his work and everything like that, so they feel closer to him in the situation. And it's just very fucking interesting. As I'm just going through this, like, I feel like, ugh. And then in 2012 is a woman, they didn't give a name, so I'm guessing she wants to remain anonymous. She is saying that he allegedly R-worded her against a wall in his home in LA after she refused him, and she didn't want to do something with him and a friend of Brand. She alleges that she told Brand to get off of her and that she wanted to leave, but he carried on and briefly blocked the door. After the incident, Brand sent her the text messages, apologized for what happened, and describing his behavior as crazy and selfish. It happened the same month that Brand's divorce from Katy Perry was finished. And that just like, I really do wonder how Katy is feeling. Like, it would feel sickening, like, to know that. Like, I know, like, she's divorced from him and whatever. It's just such a weird fucking situation, and I'm gonna leave it at that. It goes, like, because I just can't. It's just, it makes me so uncomfortable, and it goes into 2013. It goes into 2020. I mean, the claims are out here. Let me see this text message. Like they keep, so that was, the text message comes from the woman who is anonymous that the R word happened to in his LA home. So let me find the text messages. Hold on. And while I'm looking for the text, I just remembered he's married. I just fucking remembered that shit. So now, oh my God, like as the wife of this, like Bijou, we hear about that. We also heard about that TikTok story and how Bijou like freaked out and shit. In a similar situation with Danny, her husband, she's standing by him, has no plans of divorce apparently, allegedly. Now this woman, Laura Brand, has his last name and everything, obviously, but they married in 2017. So now she's married and these claims about her husband are out there. And that's right in between kind of that shit. Is it not? They got married in 2017. Then wouldn't that be in the middle of everything? Wouldn't it? Okay, so going back to the article, it says there starts at 2007, 2012, 2013, then it jumps to 2020. Okay, 2020 is when victim 1, who was 16, contacted his literary agent. And then in 2023, the joint investigation came together. So this stopped these claims in 2013. He got married in 2017. So as the wife, we're saying this stuff happened prior to their marriage in 2017. That's still horrible, you know? Even if it was before you, like, as the wife, what do you say to your husband? Like, what is that conversation? Like, what on earth? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just an all around crazy situation. And I mean, let me get to the text messages. I just got off track. So the victim that did come forward with the claims of the R word and in the LA home and whatnot, she actually is named. Her name is Nadia. So the text message reads, Russell, this is what Russell was saying. I'm sorry. That was crazy and selfish. I hope you can forgive me. I know that you're a lovely person. X. What are you saying sorry for if nothing happened? You said it's crazy and it was selfish. So that to me means it was some fucked up shit. Something that you did that was only to your own benefit and your own concern and your own pleasure, regardless of what was going on with her. So off the bat, I'm feeling like you've done something. People are saying that these text messages are fake, doctored, what have you, da-da-da. But I was watching Popcorn Planet and Andy said, okay, so if these text messages are faked, doctored, what have you, then Andy was basically saying they have like a slam dunk fucking case, Russell Brand would, because that is huge fucking defamation. You're putting out falsified fucking evidence for heinous fucking claims. You could for sure have a slam dunk case over that if you can prove that these are actually doctored and whatnot. But it seems as if, you know, the image is just weird. And it's actuality, it was verified, these people have been gathering all this evidence, I don't think that they would put out a fake, falsified fucking text on something of this level, knowing the ramifications that could come back if they were proven to be, you know, fraudulent. You're going to court, you're paying big bucks, you know, like all that shit. It would be like a defamation case, like Johnny. Because you're lying on somebody's name by making false fucking evidence knowingly. With malice. You know, like, okay, so off the bat, I feel like that's fucked. So Nadia says, you scared the blank out of me. So I'm sure it was saying fuck, shit, hell, whatever. But she felt uncomfortable and she felt in fear. You're right. I'm a lovely person. And for you to take advantage of me like this is unacceptable, and you have a problem. You need help. It is dangerous. I have, this is my first time reading this. She says, you have a problem. You need help. It is dangerous that you think you can get your own way all of the time. And he probably was getting his way a lot of the time. He admits it himself, he was very promiscuous. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Be promiscuous. Go all out. But you have got to fucking have consent and make sure that the person that you're having fun with and doing whatever the fuck with wants to do the same thing. Like, it's just, I don't know why it's such a concept that like is being lost. Like, I don't, oh my God. What happened? Where was I? So she says it's dangerous that you think you can get your way all of the time. Do you know how scary you are when that glazed look comes over you? When a girl says no, it means no. Oh my God. Do I have to go and get myself tested? Wow. Last time you asked me, condom or no condom, when I say condom, that doesn't mean it optional. Oh my God. You don't have the best reputation. I pride myself on being safe and trying to make the right decision. Obviously, this was a bad one. I'm so disappointed. Oh my God. Russell says, I'm very sorry. You don't need to get tested. I will make this up to you somehow. How can you make something up like that? And live with kindness. Not my original idea, which was more sex. You've been lovely to me and I'm embarrassed for my behavior. Sorry, ex. Will you ever forgive me? Wow. And they met at a party in 2012 and began texting afterwards. They met at his apartment in June. When she arrived, she felt uncomfortable. And then July, they met again. But then Nadia was greeted by a naked Russell Brand. Oh my God. Like, he really was... Wow. He reportedly told her there was a friend waiting for them in the bedroom. Oh my God. When she refused and tried to leave, the actor then allegedly grabbed her at her underclothing after her bag got stuck on a painting on the wall. She told the Times, I'm stuck underneath the painting. He's pushing up against me. She told him to get off. And the no condom thing, which we saw in the message. So these are the claims. Heinous claims. I'm going back on my timeline. And I know the lawyers in law and the whatever, the blah, blah, blah. Like, he probably can't say anything. And people say he can't say this, that, and other. But, like, it's just, like, I don't know. I don't know. So that's a mess. I don't know how to feel, you guys. I want to see both sides, but like I said, I have bias. So if I'm wrong for that, if I'm bad for that, if I'm whatever for that, so be it. I apologize, but not really, because it's just my bias. And if I'm wrong and he comes out with his evidence and shuts it all down, I will say that. I have no problem saying that. But I have my bias. It looks really bad. I want to see what it is that he has to say about it. I really want to know what Katy Perry is feeling and thinking. I wonder if she's going to make a statement. Is it even appropriate to make it a statement? Should she make a statement? Why should she? Because that's, she's not even she's not his wife anymore. So like, why should she? But then are people like, nobody expects it, like, so I just hope that she's cool. And then obviously, like, his wife, that's a fucked up situation. What the fuck do you say to your husband? Like, oh my goodness. So yeah, but as I'm looking, I still see nothing else. So I am gonna go watch my Housewives and enjoy myself. What did that umbrella guy say? I don't really know. Yeah. So, and while everyone's breaking up, John Legend and Chrissy Teigen have renewed their vows. But when housewives, like they say, like when, like every time a housewife renews their vows, typically what ends up happening is they get a divorce. Like they call it like the curse, the vow renewal curse. Yes, I'm gonna watch some Housewives and try to bring a little bit more levity to my day. Figure out what I'm gonna eat, and we'll go from there.